Have you ever felt buried alive? Like life just gave up on you, like with every new problem. Someone tossed more dirt over your dreams. If that sounds like you, then this story might be what your heart's been waiting to hear. It may seem simple at first, but once you truly understand what's behind it, you might realize you don't need to be strong. You just need to know how to shake it off and rise. In a quiet rural town, long forgotten by time, where the soil was dry and homes were built from clay, there lived a humble man named Micah. Micah wasn't known for being the smartest or the strongest, but folks around would say he's got a good heart, and sometimes that's enough. Micah lived alone on a patch of land passed down from his father. He worked from dawn to dusk with no one around to cheer him on. His only companion was a soft-eyed gray donkey he'd raised since it was a foal. He called him Buddy, not just a name, it was the truth. Buddy carried firewood, pulled the old cart, and walked beside Micah through every twist and turn life threw at them. But time took its toll, and each day I felt a little heavier. One morning, Micah woke up with a strange feeling. He called out for Buddy. Nothing. Looked around the house. Nothing. Hours passed. Then he heard it, a muffled sound, rising from the earth. A faint cry, an old forgotten well on his property. And there was Buddy at the bottom, still, trapped, eyes wide, barely breathing. Micah dropped to his knees. God, what do I do now? He stayed there, kneeling by the well. The sun was already high, sweat pouring down his face, but it wasn't just the heat. It was the weight of old sadness, the feeling that everything in his life eventually slipped away. He stared into that hole. Buddy wasn't moving, his breathing shallow. Every sound from that pit hit Micah like a punch to the chest. He threw down a rope, but he didn't have the strength to pull Buddy out on his own. He called for help. No one came. And then a horrible thought crept into his mind. He tried to fight it, but after hours of helplessness, he whispered to himself, maybe it's better to just end this, for him and for me. With a shattered heart, he picked up a shovel and started throwing dirt into the well. One scoop, then another, then a third. Each time he spoke softly through clenched teeth, tears falling. I'm sorry, Buddy. I tried, but I'm tired of losing. But then something impossible happened. The dirt hit Buddy's back, and he shook it off. That's right, he shook it off and stepped up. Micah froze. He tossed another scoop. Buddy shook again and stepped higher. Little by little, Buddy was rising. Every shovel of dirt meant to bury him was turning into a step toward the top. Micah couldn't believe his eyes. What was supposed to be the end was becoming a new beginning, and right then, something woke up inside him. If even a donkey stuck in a hole, tired and hurting, can still find the strength to shake it off and climb, then what's stopping me? Tears welled up again, but this time, they weren't from pain. It was like something long dead had just come back to life. He kept shoveling, but now with hope in his heart. Buddy understood. With every scoop of dirt, he'd shake it off and step up. Scoop by scoop, shake by shake, step by step. After what felt like forever, Buddy reached the top. And with one final push, he climbed out of the well, dusty, trembling, but standing tall. Micah dropped to his knees, wrapped his arms around Buddy's neck, and whispered, "You saved me, when I thought it was my job to save you." That moment changed everything. Micah realized something. Life will throw dirt on you. It will try to bury you with pain, disappointment, failure. But you can shake it off and use each bit of pain as a step to rise higher. In the days that followed, Micah felt like a new man. Same hands, same land, same old boots. But something inside was different. He woke up early, worked with new energy, and whenever life felt heavy, he'd glance at Buddy, now clean and shining in the sun, and smile. "You're my reminder, pal, that when the world tries to bury me, I just have to shake it off and rise." The story spread through town, not because Micah told it, but because people started to see something in him. Neighbors, who once kept their heads down, started asking, "Micah, what happened to you? You seem different." And he'd just smile and say, "Life threw dirt at me, but I learned how to rise." Soon, people around started saying it too, "Shake it off and rise." It became a saying, a mantra. When someone faced rejection, failure, a tough break, they didn't complain. They said, "It's okay, I'll shake it off and rise." Micah became a quiet mentor to younger folks in town, not because he was educated, but because he had lived and learned from a donkey what many spend their whole lives never understanding. Sometimes life isn't trying to bury you, it's handing you the raw material to build your way out. Years later, Micah was an old man. He sat on the porch of his small clay home, watching Buddy, now gray and slowed, resting peacefully under a tree. A little boy from a neighboring house came up and asked, "Mr. Micah, is it true you almost buried Buddy alive?" Micah smiled. He looked down, picked up a handful of dry dirt, and let it slip through his fingers. "It's true, son, but he didn't let me." The boy's eyes widened, and Micah, in a gentle voice, shared his truth. Sometimes you fall into a hole so deep, you start to believe there's no way out. And just when it feels like it can't get worse, someone starts shoveling dirt on you. But that's when you have a choice. You can stay down and get buried, or shake it off and rise, one step at a time. That's what Buddy did, and that's what he taught me. Life wasn't trying to bury me, it was trying to teach me how to climb. The boy didn't say a word, but his eyes said everything. And Micah sat back with peace in his chest, knowing the greatest thing you can leave behind isn't land or gold or things. It's an example, a moment, a story. And you, what story will you leave behind? If this story moved something in you, if even for a moment you saw yourself in Micah or in Buddy stuck in the pit, then maybe this video found you at just the right time. And how many times have you felt like giving up? Like life was trying to bury you, when maybe it was just giving you the tools to climb out. Everyone has their own pit, and everyone's felt like they couldn't keep going. But what separates those who make it out is the decision to shake it off and rise. So now I have two things to ask you. First, Comment below what's the hardest pit you've ever faced or are facing right now. Even anonymously, sometimes just speaking it out loud is the first step up. Second, if this message made sense to you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming. But more than anything, share this story, send it to someone who feels stuck, someone who forgot. There's still a way up. Thank you for watching. And never forget, the dirt will fall, but you can choose to shake it off and rise.